Today I only have a couple of hours to finish one knife because I'm in a time rush, so let's get started. And I already have a design and I've made this template a while ago, but I've never really made one of these, so I want to try this out and cut it out. And for those guys who ask which steel I'm using a 15 and 20 steel, which is a really nice high carbon steel. And I also want to track my time, so let's start the timer and start making a knife. Now I am in my grinding room because I have to angle grind it and also profile the whole knife. So I've got the knife now profiled, and with this knife I want to go straight into heat treat. But before I can do the heat treat, I have to drill out the holes, and I also want to add a sharpening choil on this knife with some files. And I also want to give you a time update. We are now at 30 minutes, and that is with all the recording and profiling, setting the camera up. So 30 minutes, we're still good in time, and the heat treating oven is also fired up. So now the holes are also drilled and the sharpening choil is also in the knife, and the heat treating oven still needs some time, so I can do one more thing. So what I can do is I can already cut out the handle scales and pre-drill the holes on the scales, so I can then already work on the scales while the knife is heat treating, hardening and tempering. So the handle scales are now ready to be worked on, and as you can hear it in the background, the heat treating oven also started clicking. At the moment I finished the fitting up on handle scales, so now I want to heat treat the knife and then I can work on the handle scales while the knife is tempering. The knife is now hardened and also tempered, so now I can finish up the grind or start the grind, because I haven't done any kind of grinding because I've chosen 3mm stock, and I didn't want that the knife is going to warp, so now I have to do a lot of grinding to finish this slicer. So I've now marked a center line on this knife, so I have to go now to my grinding room and get a nice bevel on it. So the knife is now finished ground, and I've ground it super thin. It's nearly to a 0 edge, and now I can start working on the handle scales. And for these handle scales, I want to do, of course, my rock pattern. No stippling today. I just want to add some cool rock pattern to it, and after that I'm going to finish the knife. The handle scales and the knife is now nearly finished. I just have to sandblast the handle scales and also the knife, and I've also etched my logo in there, and after that just the finish and sharpening and we are done. So the knife and the handle scales are now sandblasted, and now I want to add a mustard patina to it because I kind of want to see what it does on 15 and 20, because 15 and 20 doesn't etch really well in the ferrochloride, and therefore you're using it with Damascus because 15 and 20 is normally the bright steel. But I just want to try it out and see how it turns out. So I have figured out that mustard and 15 and 20 doesn't work really well. So what I will do now is I will re-sandblast it and then make my classic stonewash finish on it. Alright guys, so the knife is now done and we are looking at the time and it is 5 hours and 36 minutes, so we can stop that right now, minus the 2 hours of tempering. And I've also did some other stuff in between, so I stopped it always, but then I started working on again and I've track the time again. So that is 3 hours and something, and I'm really happy with the end result. And this knife feels amazing in the hand. You can put a lot of pressure up here if you want to do some wood carving and all that kind of stuff. And of course, I love my rock pattern. And I think the stonewash in the end was a good decision. Drop it down below into the comment. Do you like the stonewash finish on that knife, or should I have tried more with that mustard patina? And if you're interested in more content like that, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you got any kind of questions, just drop them down below into the comment section. I try to answer them as quickly as possible. I will see us in the next one.